Shalom, 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 brother Randy here. We're out here early in the morning, getting some stuff done when it comes to the wood again with the chickens and uh, just tending to some business on the land. About to run out and get some materials, but wanted to take a moment because it's been on my mind a lot. I've been seeing a lot of videos uh, and for the past 3 years, 3.5 years, I would say, since I woke up to the knowledge of how this wicked system works. I came to realize that when you look at this collapse, this economic collapse that we're going through, and you see how it is actually going about transpiring, and playing out, you see that the collapse is not happening for everybody. Now, when you think about economic collapse, when you think about a world without rule of law, all of that stuff, although I know that that stuff is eventually coming, but um, you know, I really look back and I see Ayn Rand Atlas Shrugged type situation developing where, you're going to see high prices, but you're going to see people continuing more and more to have their lifestyles degraded and eroded. You're going to see uh, uh, people in multifamily homes, like we're seeing now. You're seeing men that don't have the ability to provide for their families. You see more and more people becoming homeless. You see more and more people struggling to make ends meet. You have a lot of people out there that just can't even afford to stack a year's worth of supply of food because they're living from paycheck to paycheck, and that paycheck is constantly eroding. And you see, for the average person, things continue to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And although I do believe that a world without rule of law or a complete collapse of the system is going to take place, I look back at history to try and understand what's going to go on in the future. And we mirror ourselves after the late Roman Empire. And when you look at Rome and the fall of Rome, you can't pinpoint the fall of Rome to a specific date. It degraded over a period of time, and it transitioned into other economies, other systems, and where those people that were once thought that they were in Rome, they were in something else. You look at the border to the south, and you look at this formation of the Northern American Union. America's dead. They've opened up them southern borders. There's no more uh, 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 what are those people? Federal agents at the southern border no more. You got Mexicans just coming through, going back and forth. Um, America is no more, and people think that it's going to be one day some abrupt uh, collapse of the system where the only collapse that's happening is for the average American, the average person out there that's getting out there, going out to work, trying to make ends meet, and at some point in time can't make ends meet. You see the Cloward and Piven strategy taking place, where you have all of these people going on social welfare and social benefits, and it's amazing to talk to a person that lived off of the government all their lives, and they truly do feel as though they're entitled to for someone else to take care of them. It's a sad thing, but this is where we're heading. And I once, I read something, and I heard it quoted again. The wise tend to plenty, and the wicked tends to want. And a lot of reasons why people are in the situations they're in is because they're not willing to sacrifice. They're not willing to rough it, um, and struggle a little bit in order to get the benefits long term. And this is the kind of situation that we find ourselves in. Not everybody's economy is collapsing. There's people out there, and I see people on YouTube. Their economies are flourishing. Um, they're not worrying about food or shelter or raiment or anything of that stuff. They're doing very well. Out there, Southern Prepper One, or the Wrangler guy that does the wood, or or Engineer 775. The Patriot Nurse. These are just some of the YouTubers that you watch on a daily basis. That none of these people are struggling. Their economies are flourishing as the collapse for everybody else is accelerating, and it's the kind of collapse that's taking place where it's hitting one family at a time, one person at a time, one region at a time. You want to see world without rule of law? Go into the inner cities of Chicago, or go into Brownsville in New York City, or go into the inner cities of St. Louis, and you'll see a full-blown collapse taking place. Go into Detroit, and you see where um, the economy there has been decimated. There's places where a cop won't even go in there anymore. That is a true world without rule of law, what those people are living in at this point in time, right here, right now. And so this is what's going on. And I saw this thing coming. Once I saw this situation developing about 4 years ago, I immediately started to make moves. I immediately started to change the lifestyle that I once had, which was a good lifestyle, and I immediately began to make sacrifices so that I can save for myself and others who were not in the position, um, because of this economic collapse, to save up and do things, so that everyone can have. Because the Most High has been able to bless me throughout my life, coming from a situation of poverty, no mommy, no daddy, growing up in foster care. I mean, this is the life that I once led, so I don't take the excuse for someone else that they can't get out there and make it happen, because I didn't come from a situation where I had mommy and daddy backing me up, or I could live in their apartment or something like that. I had to go out there and make things happen myself, and this is what we're lacking today. We're lack people that have the drive, the motivation, the ambition, the passion, the integrity to go out there and get it done. Um, it's sad, what you see happening today, because when you're in a situation where your personal economy is collapsed, then you have no options. You have to submit. There is no. You have to submit to the options that someone else is giving you, because you weren't man or woman enough to go out there and get things done yourself. So it's not about an issue of submission. You have to submit. You got no choice. It's a sad thing, and you master the submission, but it ain't really submission. You got no choice. And choice is an important thing. And when you've lived a life where you haven't made the appropriate choices and decisions, then someone else will make those appropriate decisions for you, be it someone else, or another man, or another woman, or a government, or a county, or a city agency. You don't have no choice the way you live. You don't have no choice to the food that you cop and eat, because you're stripped of that option. So this is the kind of collapse that we're seeing transpiring right before our very eyes. Uh, we see the collapse of the individual. You see the rise of feminism. You know how many women I know out there that are highly educated, have their own cars, have their own careers, have their own money, and no man to cover them, because they're not going to submit. The idea is that everybody always dates on their socioeconomic level or above. And you're not going to find a woman out there that's going to submit to a man that doesn't have the same resources or ability as she does. And so you see the rise of feminism. You see the women leading the households and the men not. I know more successful women than I do know successful brothers, men, whether white or black. It's a damn shame, but this is the situation that we're in. So the whole name of the game is to see what's going on and make moves while you can make moves. Because when you're in a situation where you're in $20,000, $30,000 worth of student debt, or you got 60, 70, $80,000 worth of medical debt, because they're going to get that money. It's secured debt because it's tied to you, your person, and you owe that government that money, or you owe tax money. They're going to get that money, and they're going to come after you, and they're going to get it any way that's possible. And so at that point in time, you have to look for a city of refuge. You have to look for a place where you have options where somebody else is benevolent to help you. Um, it's a sad situation, you know. But again, this is the situation that we find ourselves in. So um, as things progress and go on, you know, I'd encourage and I'd hope for people to watch people out there that are getting things done and follow their lead and example. But you know, we know it ain't only going to be a few. There's only going to be people that's going to actually get out there and make it happen. It's a sad thing, you know. Hey, but you know, I know, you know, as for me and my house, I know what we're going to do. We're going to get it done. Shalom.